Welcome to another edition of Chart Talk. I'm Tony Agoric. I'm here with Portfolio Manager Jeff Bixjo. And today, Jeff, we're going to talk about recessions and our position that not all recessions are the same. So let's take a look, Jeff, at the first chart we've got, which is sort of the rule of thumb, approach to determining whether, in fact, we're in a recession.
Yeah, the shorthand definition for a recession that we all know is just 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. We've had that. So the first 2 quarters of this year were negative. Though, Tony, if you drill down a little bit into all the different components, you realize, most of them are positive, are showing growth, like consumer spending, one of the most important indicators. But there's some other parts of it, like inventories, business inventories, where they bought basically too much stuff last year, and now they're able to just sort of whittle it down this year, which is causing the negative growth.
Right. So understand, we've got an extremely large economy, really the largest in the world. And if we look at our next chart, what we're seeing is that there are a lot of components to our economy. And that's why it isn't just a simplistic, 2 quarters and we're in, and, you get a positive quarter and we're out. The National Bureau of Economic Research looks at a lot of nuanced information over a period of months. It's not that easy to say whether we're in a recession or not. So let's take a look at some of these. These are some of the main criteria they look at to determine whether we are in a recession or not. And geez, Jeff, when you look at this, most of the bars seem to be positive, not negative.
Yeah, I mentioned consumer spending is still rising. Industrial production is still rising. The biggest indicator, of course, is just jobs. The unemployment rate is 3.5%. So if the National Bureau of Economic Research looks back at this time period and says, we are in a recession, that would be surprising because unemployment is so very low.
Right. And, Jeff, if you look at some of the prior recessions we've had, they were really caused by exogenous or outside events like, we had 9/11 that caused an immediate, recession. We had the global financial crisis that was extremely severe that caused that. And then we had the pandemic, which also was rather severe, but short-lived. Here, we're not really looking at an exogenous event. We're just looking at more of a traditional, business cycle slowdown. So again, looking at prior recessions, thinking we're going to have a repeat of that may not be the case this time.
Yeah, not all recessions are created equal. Sometimes they're necessary. And I think if we have a shallow recession that takes care of our inflation problem, at the end of the day, I think that's a good thing.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. And thank you for listening to this edition of Chart Talk.